Look up at the sky on a clear night. Billions of stars stretch into the infinite unknown, each one a sun to distant worlds we may never know. Now look within. What do you see? For centuries, humanity has gazed outward, seeking answers to the mysteries of existence. We've built telescopes to peer into the cosmos, sent probes to distant planets, and mapped the very edges of our universe. But what if the greatest mystery lies not in the stars above, but in the quiet depths of your own being? Across cultures, across time, people have spoken of a moment, a shift, when the fabric of reality seems to unravel, a moment when the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the familiar feels like a distant dream. They call it a spiritual awakening. But what does it mean to awaken? Is it a gift? A burden? A universal call echoing through the ages? And how do you know if it's happening to you? In this journey, we will explore 7 signs, 7 whispers from a soul that suggest your consciousness is expanding, your spirit is stirring, and you're stepping into a new way of being. This is not a story of endings. This is a story of beginnings. Imagine waking up one day and feeling different. The world looks the same. Cars hum along highways. Birds sing in trees. The sun rises as it always has. And yet, something has changed. It's not the world. It's you. Spiritual awakening is not a sudden bolt of lightning or a chorus of angels descending from the heavens. It's subtler, deeper, a quiet unraveling of everything you thought you knew. Some describe it as remembering something long forgotten. Others say it's like waking from a dream you didn't know you were having. The Buddha called it seeing the world as it truly is, beyond the veil of illusion. From the shamans of ancient tribes to the quantum physicists of today, this idea persists. Reality is not what it seems. Consciousness is not limited to the physical brain. And when we awaken, we begin to glimpse beyond the boundaries of our conditioned minds. But how do you recognize this transformation? How do you know if the restlessness, the wonder, the questions swirling in your mind are signs of something greater? Let's journey together through 7 signs, 7 markers on the path of awakening. Each one a clue. Each one an invitation to look deeper. Sign 1. A feeling of disconnection from the material world. It often begins with a whisper, a subtle shift in what draws your attention. The things that once drove you money, status, possessions, the endless chase for more, start to lose their shine. You might find yourself walking through a crowded mall, past glittering storefronts filled with the latest must-have items, and feel nothing. The excitement is gone. The hunger has faded. This is not depression. This is not apathy. This is the first sign of spiritual awakening. A growing disconnection from the material world and its promises. Society tells us happiness lies in what we own, what we achieve, what we display to the world. But during an awakening, that story begins to crumble. You start asking deeper questions. What truly matters? Why am I here? Is there more to life than this endless cycle of wanting and getting? Dr. Maya Sarkova, psychologist and spiritual researcher, explains, this detachment from materialism is often misunderstood. It's not about rejecting the world or becoming ascetic. It's about recognizing that our deepest fulfillment cannot be found in external things. Dr. Maya Sarkova says when someone begins to awaken, they often experience what I call the great disillusionment. The script they've been following, education, career, house, retirement, suddenly feels hollow. Not because these things are bad, but because the soul is calling for something more meaningful. This disconnection is not a loss. It's an opening, a doorway to rediscover what your soul has always known. As material desires fall away, you create space for authentic purpose to emerge. Sign 2. An awakening of intuition. Have you ever known something without knowing how you knew it? A feeling in your gut, a whisper in your mind. This is the second sign of spiritual awakening. Your intuition begins to strengthen. Intuition is not a loud voice. It's a quiet knowing, subtle, yet unshakable. During a spiritual awakening, this inner compass grows stronger, more reliable. You might sense a decision is wrong before any evidence appears. You might feel drawn to a stranger who later becomes significant in your journey. You might wake up with an answer to a question you've been carrying for months. Science struggles to explain intuition. It occurs too quickly for conscious reasoning, emerging from depths beyond rational thought. Unconscious cognition. The brain processing information below threshold of awareness. But mystics and spiritual teachers have another explanation. They say intuition is the voice of the soul, speaking through the noise of the mind. Our ancestors knew that the head mind is just one way of knowing. The heart mind, the gut mind, these are equally important. When you begin to awaken, these other ways of knowing get louder. Pay attention to them. The more you trust your intuition, the clearer it becomes. It's as if a part of you long dormant is stretching toward the light. Sign 3. The appearance of synchronicities. Something strange begins to happen. You glance at a clock. It's 11:11. Later, it's 3:33. Again, 4:44. You think of someone and moments later, they call. A book falls open to exactly the page with the answer you've been seeking. This is the third sign. Synchronicities begin to weave through your life. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, called these meaningful coincidences, events connected not by cause and effect, but by meaning. They defy statistical probability. They feel orchestrated, as if the universe itself is winking at you. Repeating numbers, chance meetings, perfect timing. These are not accidents. They are messages. Breadcrumbs on the path. Dr. Robert Matthews says synchronicities challenge our understanding of reality. They suggest a hidden order, a pattern beneath the surface of everyday life. From a quantum perspective, they hint at the interconnectedness of all things. That separation is an illusion. Some believe synchronicities are guideposts, markers on the path of awakening. Others see them as evidence that consciousness itself shapes reality in ways we're only beginning to understand. Whatever they mean, they pull you deeper into the mystery. The more you notice them, the more they appear. It's as if the world is speaking to you in a language you're slowly learning to comprehend. Sign 4. A sense of isolation, yet profound connection. Awakening is not always comfortable. As your perception shifts, you may feel a growing distance from the people around you. Conversations that once energized you now feel hollow. Friends drift away. Family members don't understand your new perspectives. This is the 4th sign. A sense of isolation, paired with a profound paradox. Even as you feel separate from others, you begin to sense something vast and beautiful. A connection to the trees swaying in the breeze, the clouds drifting overhead, the very pulse of life itself. You're detached from the familiar, yet tethered to something greater. This is the duality of awakening. You may feel like a stranger in a world you once knew, but simultaneously, you're discovering your place in the cosmos. It's as if you're remembering a truth your soul has always known, that you are not separate from anything. This phase can be the most challenging. Sign 5. The dissolution of old patterns. As your spirit stirs, the past begins to loosen its grip. Habits you've clung to for years start to dissolve. Beliefs you once held sacred now feel like chains rather than truths. This is the 5th sign, the release of old patterns. It's not easy. Letting go means facing yourself, your shadows, your wounds, your comfortable illusions. But it's necessary. Awakening demands transformation, and transformation requires release. You may find yourself questioning traditions you followed blindly, reassessing relationships, rewriting the story of who you are and what you're capable of becoming. Psychologists says what we're really seeing is the ego, the construct itself, beginning to loosen its rigid hold. As awareness expands, we see that many of our patterns were adaptations to past wounds or societal pressures. They served us once, but now they limit our growth. This is not destruction. This is rebirth, a clearing of the soil so new growth can take root. And though it may feel like loss, it is, in truth, the greatest freedom. Sign 6. Heightened sensitivity to energy. The world grows louder, brighter, more intense. Colors shimmer with new vibrancy. This is the 6th sign. Your sensitivity to energy heightens as your consciousness expands. The filters that once dulled your perception begin to thin. You feel the hum of life in every leaf, every breath, every interaction. But this gift comes with challenges. Crowds drain you. Conflict disturbs you in ways it never did before. What's happening is your vibrational frequency is rising. You're becoming more attuned to the subtle energies that have always been there. It's like turning up the volume on reality itself. This heightened sensitivity is not weakness. It's power. The power to perceive what others cannot yet see. To feel the undercurrents, to know the truth beneath the surface. Learn to honor this sensitivity. Protect your energy when needed. Ground yourself in nature. And remember, you're not oversensitive. You're finally feeling the world as it truly is. Sign 7. A new perception of reality. Finally, the veil lifts. Life begins to feel like a dream, a play of shadows and light. You see patterns where others see chaos. Purpose where others see coincidence. This is the 7th sign, a new perception of reality itself. Time feels less linear. The boundary between you and the world grows thinner. Fear fades as you sense deep within that you are part of something immense, something eternal. What mystics have described for millennia now finds echoes in quantum physics. Matter is mostly empty space. Particles can be connected across vast distances. Observer and observed are part of the same system. Reality is far more fluid and interconnected than our everyday perception suggests. This is not delusion. This is awakening. The recognition that the world is both more mysterious and more beautiful than we've been taught to believe. These 7 signs, disconnection from materialism, awakened intuition synchronicities, paradoxical isolation, dissolution of old patterns, heightened sensitivity, and new perception, are not a checklist to be completed. They are guideposts, invitations to look deeper. Awakening is not a destination. It's a journey, one that unfolds differently for each person. Some experience these signs gradually, over decades. Others are thrust into them through crisis or profound life changes. Wherever you are on this path, know that you are not alone. Throughout history, across cultures, this same journey has been traveled by countless souls, called by different names, described in different ways, but recognized by the same inner knowing. This is not an ending. This is a beginning, the first light of a dawn that has been waiting for you all along.